I have been met by the Lord in so many different ways.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Unthank, and welcome to another edition of the Rewrite Podcast. I am so excited to have my friend David Leonard joining me today. Man, it is good to see you. What you been into?
Man, too much. Today I'm just getting kids off to school. That's the big thing.
Hey, man,
So
we're celebrating that this week together.
I know. We got to. It is the end of summer. We are back in school, and we don't have to cart people around today or figure out who's getting lunch or whatever. Like, we are good. The cafeteria is going to fulfill all the needs and desires of our kids' hearts, which is not true in any way, shape, or fashion, but they'll be fed.
They'll be fed something.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, it's good to see your face, man. And this is a cool opportunity just to chat for a few minutes and let you share your heart, man. How you came to faith in Jesus. Share a little bit about who you are for those that may not be familiar with your music and stuff like that. Maybe just share a little bit about who you are and your story of how you came to faith in Jesus, and then a little bit about your music too.
Yeah, man. I mean, uh, the coming to faith side. I mean, I think I'm still coming to faith. So
Yeah.
this is a continued journey. But I think I grew up in a Christian home. Grew up with parents who kind of allowed me to test the waters, figure out if this was something I wanted to be a part of. And I just remember over and over again, being met by the Lord through so many different ways. But I think honestly, it was when I went to college and when I started like uh, I left home and it became like my faith instead of my faith in my parents um and I think that was the season for me where it was like, okay, hey, do you want to be a part of this? Do you really want to believe? Um, and so I started really walking the journey of that, and it's been a continual thing. I think I have been met by the Lord in so many different ways. The One of the biggest ones for me, and honestly, uh, the moment that I was like, okay, I feel like I'm starting to understand this a little bit more was. Um, I was a part of a small group, and I had done everything I could in my life to avoid small groups. I didn't want them to hear my problems. I didn't want to hear their problems. And I remember sitting around that circle with these 12 people and listening to them share their stories. And I just remember watching everybody just accept what was happening. I watched them welcome people in, not with judgment, but with grace and with like just just love. And I had no idea. I had no idea what that was about. I had not been the recipient of that uh, always in my life, and so to sit there and watch this, so it caused me to start sharing this. I started, talking about what was going on in my life, the struggles, the good, the bad, all of it. And I just watched these people love me. And I felt like grace became this real tangible thing. It was something that I could touch. It was like, it was not just this thing that I had heard about in church. It was something that I was actually experiencing for the first time. And for me, that was like a light bulb moment. I think this faith thing for me has always been light bulb moments. It's like, it's a continued journey of, I have put my faith in, every time there was some kind of disciple now, there was some kind of conference I went to, I get resaved at every single one of those things. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was not until these moments, I think that's where, it starts to really shape and starts to come into life. But that grace piece for me was such a huge moment of going, okay, like I understand this. Like when you have something where you're actually in need of grace, when you're in need of forgiveness, I think you understand the price of Jesus is so much greater than just some flippant thing that God decided to do. You know, this is actually something that costs something. And to be able to receive it as a gift uh, is insane. And so I continually try to tell people about that grace, show people that grace, and live out that grace. And easier to do some days than others. Um, but I'm thankful for it.
Man, I think about what you said about um, it's the daily discovery.
But yeah,
You know, and it's and I you can almost visualize that. It's like you're on a fun treasure hunt because there's so much of God to be discovered. We discover him in his word, we discover him in this creation, we discover him in so many, you know, in the fellowship of
yeah,
believers and encouraging each other. So it's almost like a fun treasure hunt. It's like, yeah, I'm discovering this about God today and this
yeah,
aspect of his character and things like that. So I love exactly what you said because it is a growing relationship. It's not just a boop, there you go. It's just a full bucket and there you go and have fun with it. It's like, yeah, we'll get you a good start and then it's just discovering God along the way.
yeah.
I,
Well,
I love that.
I mean, I think that's like, growing up, I thought it was like, oh, you just pray a prayer, you make a
Yeah.
decision, that's it. Like that's your salvation story, and it's like, nah, I don't think that's it. I think that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I think it is so much more than just the time that you make a decision. And I've been trying to live that out with my kids and all that kind of stuff of going, um, this is a daily journey. This is something that just doesn't, it's kind of like signing a record deal. You sign a record deal and you think, oh yeah, everything's gonna happen for me now. And it's like now I don't have to work. I don't have to do any of this stuff. Everybody's working for me. It's like no. It's like now is when it actually starts. It's like, and so it's the same thing. It's like when we decide to come on and do a relationship with the Father, it's like all of a sudden we decided the journey begins. And so my whole life has been that story, and it will continue to be that story. And um, some days are 10 steps back, some are 10 steps forward. But the beauty is that the Lord is patient, and He has promised to be with me in the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Like if I go up to the heavens, you're there. Like you have promised to be there with us, and that's what I hold on to.
But you talk a lot about grace, and I tend to not look deeply into that myself. Just being
Mm,
honest, it's kind of like because it's hard. It's a hard principle to understand because we don't give ourselves grace at all. I mean,
yeah,
at all. So it's like if you're always coming from that vantage point, it's like, well, how can God give me grace? Because I know me.
mm, yeah,
I know me and my screw ups and my mistakes, and I know my heart sometimes, and
yeah,
it's not a good thing, you know. But then you see God's mercy and his patience, like you said, along the way, where it's like, yeah, scriptures make sense now. Well, my grace is sufficient, so it's enough.
yeah,
It's enough to help you through the day. It's enough to get you through your situation. You know, so little glimmers of that along the way help remind me that yeah, he's got this.
yeah.
He's in control.
By grace are we saved through faith.
Yeah,
It is not our works. It is a gift, so that we cannot boast about this thing. This is not ours to give. We were given a free gift that none of us deserve, and I believe that. It's like people. A good buddy of mine told me, he was like, "You're going to learn more about the Father's heart after you have these kids than ever before in your life." Is like they're born into this life, and they know nothing about you. They don't know who you are at all. uh could put you up in a lineup the day they were born, and they could not point out who the dad was at all. But even the fact that they don't couldn't do that, they don't know who you are, it doesn't change the amount of love that I had for that kid the day that she came out. And it was like, isn't that the Father? It's like the little that we know about him doesn't change the fact of how much love he has for us and how patient he is with us, because we are his children. He is promised that he is with us. And man, I just I'm a believer that I'm a believer in that. I'm a believer in I'm a believer in God.
so what when you write a song, what mindset or heart set do you come from? Is that say the bulk of it is kind of just like what we've been talking about, is that's the foundation, or is it kind of, are there certain seasons where you're like, man, I write my music based on this and what I'm dealing with God and how I'm seeing him, or does it kind of, or is there, they're kind of like a thread that's woven through all your songs?
I mean, I think it's yes to all of those.
Yeah.
I think some seasons it's exactly what's going on in my life. Some seasons it's where do I want to be. Some seasons is what have I seen from the past. I think it's a lot of that. That everything plays. The biggest thing for me is that it's rooted in truth and it's rooted in emotions that are real.
Hmm.
They come from real places. Not trying to fabricate things, but simply telling stories of truth, and I love getting to do it.
Yeah, man. That I'm at that stage in life as a dad and as a husband where it's kind of like, you know what? I need to just let God be God
Mm,
and trust him in this. You know
yeah,
we strive so much to think we've got to help God. God, let me help you along with this because
yeah,
because either we're impatient or whatever. But it's like, let's just let him move, let him
yeah,
lead, and then you find out that in your own spirit you're more calm, you're
yeah,
peaceful. Because you're allowing him to lead the way. He
for
provides
sure.
that all. He provides that when you let go.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. That's the truth.
How are you seeing that as a dad now? Because you're sending one off to eighth grade, right?
Yeah,
Eighth grade. I've got one
eighth
going
grader,
going too. So yeah.
eighth grader, and a second grader. So
Oh man.
I kicked them out of the car this morning. I was like, "Good luck.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you. I'll see you next summer." So,
Oh, that's good, man. Well, how can we pray for you, man? How can we lift you up?
man, I think. I mean, you've always been so amazing at that. I've been so grateful for you, even the puzzle pieces and all that stuff of like just knowing that you are a person who when he says you're going to pray for people, you do it, and so I appreciate that.
Yes,
And,
sir.
um, man, I think obviously for my family, just peace and uh, a beautiful spirit to fall over this year. My wife teaches school too, so it's like there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of unrest in our
Hmm.
home at all times. So I mean, I think that just like togetherness, unity, all that kind of stuff in the home, and just fresh wind. I'm always praying for fresh wind. That the Lord would put fresh wind in the sail and do things that only He can do.